Hi, I'm Joe Bogue, and this is how to set up the lights for an outdoor performance at the Maplewood Barn Community Theater. So the first step for setting up the outdoor lights to run a show or a rehearsal is to turn on circuits 39 and 41. They're down here on the bottom left corner of our circuit box, and they should be the only ones that are ever off on any given day. So you just flip those on, and now the lights outside have power. One other important thing to mention is number 35 should always be on. It controls our lightning protection system and helps protect both the lights and the motherboard in the dimmer pack, which I'll show you right now. So this is the dimmer pack. It can be thought of as the brain that makes all the lights work together and talk to each other. If you're just having a rehearsal, there's no need to get into the tech booth, as you can turn on all the lights manually. You'll see these little gray squares. They're numbered 1 through 24, and each number corresponds to a different light outside on the light poles. So to turn on the lights manually, you just turn on as many of the lights as you need. Normally that'll be numbers 1 through 12, and it could be numbers anywhere from 1 to 16. Once the button is pressed in, you'll see the light comes on. When you're done with your rehearsal, to turn off the lights, you just press those buttons back. And now, the lights are off. One important thing to mention, if you are using the tech booth to run lights, and you have these pressed in, you won't have control from the light board. So, if the light board won't work when you're trying to set up for a show, this is the first thing I would check. So after you've turned on power to the lights, the next step is to plug in the light board. There's two cables that you use for this. The first is the power cable, which is this round black cable. It goes into the slot labeled power, and it just slides in. And then you also need this red DMX cable, and it's got a piece of tape on it that says plug into light board, so you'll know. And it goes in to the slot labeled DMX, and it just slides in like that. When you're ready to take it off, there's a little button at the bottom that you got to push in to release, and it just pulls out. Then the final step for setting up the lights for an outdoor performance is to just set the board to whichever channel you're using. And you do that with these arrow keys, and you'll see the channel on this screen here. A couple things about the light board. The master is right here. It controls power to all the lights. So if the master's down, all the lights will be off. And if the master's up, all the lights will be on. I recommend just leaving the master up and using the sliders to control lights for a show. The other thing you need to know about is this slider right here. It's called manual crossfade, and it lets you control either the top row of sliders, the bottom row of sliders, or if you have it in the middle like I do, it lets you control both rows at once. That's where I like to keep it, but if it's all the way up, you have control of the top row, and if it's all the way down, you have control of the bottom row. The last thing to show you is how to control the outdoor LEDs. The outdoor LEDs are controlled by sliders 19 through 24. Unless something's changed since last season, they're slaved together, so you can only bring up one color at a time. So 19 will bring up red, for example, and 20 will bring up green, for example, and down the line. There's 6 colors altogether. And that's all you need to know in order to run the light board. So, to recap those steps, step 1, use the circuit breaker in the shop to turn on power to the lights. Step 2, plug in the light board. Step 3, select the channel you're going to use to run that rehearsal or performance. You'll want to use one channel, say channel 1 for outdoor performances and channel 2 for indoor performances. That'll just save you some time in programming the board. Then when you're done with the rehearsal performance, you just follow the steps in the reverse order in order to take everything down. I'm Joe Bogue, and that's how the outdoor lights work at the Maplewood Barn Community Theater.